Alrighty, let's take a look at this pretty cool limited edition Citizen that I've had for a little bit now. It's pretty well spec'd and reasonably difficult to find, I guess you could say. I think these watches came out in 2015 or so. The name, I don't know if there's a good name to the line. I've seen it referred to as a super tough, but it's not really in the tough line. It's closely related to a whole bunch of watches. There's the BN 0141, which is this guy. It's limited edition to 2,500. That's quite a lot for a limited edition. But there's also the BN 0140, and that's the Royal Marines Commando. And that watch looked pretty much exactly like this one. It just came in, on the back it was marked as Royal Marines Commando. And it came in a more elegant box, which came with like a headlamp. Pretty cool, and there were 1,000 of those. I think these were only sold in the UK, at least the Royal Marine Commando ones. There was also a BN 0147, which also said Royal Marines Commando on the back, but that was all black and all black IP coated, and the handset was different. It was like a big arrow handset, and the indices were different. They didn't have like these diver circles. Like every single mark looked like the 12 o'clock. There were 1,500 of those. And there was also the BN 0148. This is kind of common for Citizen. Just change the last number up and down, and you'll find a whole bunch. And there were 1,000 of these. There were also Royal Marine Commando watches. They came in this really large, beautiful gift set, like metal, this Bespoke kit, and it came with binoculars, of all things. It came with Bushnell binoculars in a little case, and there were 1,000 of those. Also on that one, the bezel was black. I think black IP coated. But all this to say that there are 6,000 of these watches in the world, different variants. Black, this standard one, and they're still hard to find. 6,000 is limited, sure, but they must be really loved by their owners because they really don't pop up for sale very often. I should mention, it's a titanium watch with a solid titanium bracelet. It has solid titanium end links. It has a milled clasp, titanium bezel. I'm 90% sure the bezel is titanium as well, and it's embossed. So a lot of the times you have some really nice watches. There's like, instead of aluminum insert, there's like a steel insert, but you can kind of see there's a line here. But not this watch. This is a solid titanium bezel. You know, I have that nice texture here. You have this pip here. This is 60 click. What else? That's a sapphire crystal, and it does have a date magnifier, but the date magnifier is on the inside, and I really like it when I do that. That looks really cool. Let me see if I could line up on the screen so you can see that there. Yeah, it's Eco Drive, of course. It's a Citizen Eco Drive. That means it's a solar watch. I didn't look up how long the standby time is, but they're usually 6 months to a year or something. This one hits the markers perfectly. I really like the lollipop second hand, but I also like how it has a blue tip beyond that, and it's a 300-meter dive watch. And since it says divers on it, that tells me that it's ISO certified. Let me see if it says ISO on the back. It does not, but it does tell me the number of its limited edition. So it's one of those 2,500. I'd rather not say, just in case this goes on the market. Oh, I forgot to mention the full black version comes with a compass too. So really cool limited edition watches. I think most of them branded Royal Marines Commando, and I think these 2,500 were the ones that came to the US. Another nice thing, you see it has this pretty cool signed crown. Surprisingly, a lot of Citizens don't do that. None of them, but only the more premium. So this is a fantastic watch. So despite there being 6,000 of them in different forms somewhere in the world, they don't really come up for sale very often. I imagine their owners really like them. So that's 5 minutes of me saying this is a pretty cool special watch. Now, I guess I'll get into some dimensions and just put it on my wrist, and that'll be that. There's not a lot to show here. I'm not trying to compare to anything else. So I got my calipers here. It's supposed to be 43, and if I measure it here, yeah, it's 43, maybe 43.3, maybe just slightly more. Thickness, is, well, 13 mils. So, I mean, not a thin dress watch, but not huge necessarily. And of course, what do we got here? 49 mil lug to lug. So that's a pretty standard dive watch, not a behemoth by any means. What else to show? I love the nice slab sides. I love the full titanium bracelet. I guess I haven't tried this on other straps, so that'd be interesting. Yeah, fully milled, and it has that extension clasp. This is more of a diver extension clasp in that, like, it'll go over your wetsuit when you do this, and you can push it in easily. In my experience, other watches I've had that have had that haven't been like super comfortable when it's extended and it's on the wrist. Anyways, I just wanted to show this off because I think it's kind of special, and you don't see too many videos. There are some. I don't have a, it's in the middle of the day, so I can't really give a good night shot, but I could shine my UV light on it so you can kind of see what that looks like. Beautiful blue lume. Actually, the minute hand, and it looks like the second pip, are green. Pretty cool. So, a special watch. I like the handset. This, you know, it's Submariner-esque. I like the Mercedes handset, despite it being maybe more toolish. I like the minute markers that are around the bezel there. Yeah, really cool special watch. Let's get it on, and I think that's that. I'm wearing another Citizen, a dress watch. That Citizen is just unknown, but I love it. And there we go. My wrist is about 7.5 inch around, so a little bit above average. So I tend to look pretty good with 42, 43, 44 mil. Yeah, that's a pretty special, pretty awesome watch, and I am really pumped that I have one of the few copies out there that I think people haven't let go. If I were to say any gripe at all, in case you don't know this, Citizen's EcoDrive watches, they're solar. There's a solar panel beneath the dial that increases the thickness of the dial, or at least the depth to which the date wheel is. So a common criticism on a lot of Citizen EcoDrives, you may see it on this other watch I had, that the date wheel is deeper in there. It doesn't seem that bad, but you generally have to look at it right on. So if you have bad eyesight, it can be harder to see the date. So I'm glad there's a magnifier on this. But the magnifier is pretty small. Like, you got to look at it spot on. You can see like a glare there. That's from this ring light. There you see the full thing. Wow, weird. So that magnifier could be even bigger to do even more magnification and line up even better. But other than that, I mean, that's a cool watch. And I'm pretty lucky to have stumbled upon it. Really neat. What else is there to show on a watch? I don't think there is. Keep your eye out for these. I have too many watches. I may let this one go, but I may enjoy it for a while. I don't know. So that is the Citizen BN0141-53E, although you can forget about that last bit because it's the only 141 out there. All right, that's that. Thank you very much.